Welcome to Kaumudy Global. I still remember my Malayalam upper primary textbook in a chapter where I learned about a legend, a real football legend. Pele. My teacher kept on describing the way how Pele grew from hardships and how he wrote his name in golden letters in the history of football. And many still say if you are destined to be a footballer, just follow Pele and nothing else. And today becomes a Black Friday for all who love football and aspire to become a footballer. Pele, one of the all-time greats in football who has won the World Cup 3 times for Brazil, has passed away at the age of 82 following a cancer battle. He is considered by many as one of the greatest footballers of all time. The Brazilian legend suffered multiple ailments in recent months and was repeatedly hospitalized. As per reports, Pele, whose actual name is Edson Arantes do Nascimento, was dealing with kidney and heart issues. Pele had a colon tumour removed in September 2021 but was admitted to the Albert Einstein Hospital in Sao Paulo according to reports. Pele, the Brazilian king of soccer who won a record 3 World Cups and became one of the most commanding sports figures of the last century. In his pomp, Pele was Muhammad Ali from the Rumble in the Jungle, Jesse Owens in Hitler's Olympics. He was Rafael Nadal at Roland Garros, Tiger Woods at Augusta, Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps in Beijing, London and Rio. All rolled into one, many times over, through a glittering career headlined by 3 World Cup title triumphs and more than 1,200 goals, though only 784 of them are recognized by FIFA. In short, here is a look at the records and accolades that came Pele's way during his career and beyond. FIFA World Cup winner for the year 1958, 1962 and 1970. FIFA World Cup Best Young Player in 1958. FIFA World Cup Golden Ball Best Player in 1970. FIFA World Cup Silver Ball in 1958. He was one of the first global sporting superstars who transcended continents, admired for his wizardry with football and sometimes vilified for his political stance or the lack of it. Pele was the embodiment of the commercialization football underwent since the first World Cup television broadcasted in the 1950s. Something besides his extraordinary skills that played a part in taking him to all corners of the world, including India's Kolkata. Then Calcutta in 1977 when Mohan Bagan pulled off a coup of sorts. That would be his first of the 3 visits to the country, the latter 2 coming in 2015 and 2018. Born in a country battling corruption, military coups, censorships and repressive and regressive governments. 17-year-old Pele transformed Brazil's image with a stunning show in his very first World Cup, that is in 1958. In the tournament in Sweden, he scored 6 goals in 4 games, including 2 in the final, to lead Brazil to a 5-4-2 win over the host and give more than a peek into what was to come over the next decade and a half. Labelled the greatest by world football governing body FIFA, he was also the apolitical who seemed happy to appease anyone in power. Ahead of the 1970 World Cup, Pele was also the man who was seen sharing the stage with President Emilio Garrastazu Medici, one of the most ruthless member of the country's authoritarian regime. This was after the military took over Brazil following a bloodless coup in 1964. Brazil won the 1970 tournament with Pele leading one of the greatest teams of all time to their 3rd World Cup triumphs, climaxing the black pearl of working class background's spectacular rise to the fame against the backdrop of Brazil's politics, which was dominated by military regime from 1960s to the 1980s. He was a national treasure who once managed to bring about a 48-hour ceasefire between 2 warring factions during the Nigerian Civil War in the 1960s just so they could watch Pele play in an exhibition game in Lagos. He again was the person who played a big part in Mohan Bagan hosting him and the New York Cosmos during its tour of Asia in 1977. Pele played in that game at Eden Gardens for about half an hour in the winter of his career and far from his best, but still a turnout of 80,000 mesmerized. That game would change Bagan's fortunes as they rediscovered their touch and started winning games after suffering a spate of reversals against East Bengal, the significant other in Indian club football. As many as 38 years later, when the icon visited the city again, there was no letdown in fan frenzy. He would visit India one last time in 2018. Pele, whose sorcery with football was a welcome distraction from the brutal realities of the dictatorial regime in his country back in the day, dies a little over 2 years after Diego Maradona's death and less than 2 weeks since Messi's epic World Cup triumph. He was a mortal after all. Bid adieu to the king of the beautiful game, a titan of the 20th century. Pele, deepest condolences. I am Shreya signing off. If you like the video, please subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates.